Pretty Girl Club. Welcome back to the Exotical Storytime series. If you have a story that you would like to share, please email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com. At this point, we have got 20,000 people who are listening to our story times. So whether you have had pretty girl problems, colorism, texturism, or futurism experiences, please email them so that we can get our side of the story heard. By the way, I am still catching up on editing with these, but this girl says, "Hey baby, I love your videos so much. I love that we have a community for pretty girls because the world never wants us to. Pretty Girl Club. I was wondering if you could ever talk about small hometown haters once you start to glow up and especially soak in your pretty privilege, especially with becoming an influencer or social climbing, or if you have any advice." First, to give you a little background, I'm about Megan Thee Stallion's skin tone. I'm more exotic looking in the face, and I get a lot of guesses for my ethnicity. People typically think I'm mixed with something and can never guess that I'm Southeast African. She says, so on to the story time. I went to a predominantly white high school and I was one of the only black girls in my grade. So a lot of people like to make me the butt of the joke, make fun of me, or they treated me like the token black friend. During my senior year, I glowed up like crazy and took the glow up with me to college. I started hanging out with other black people and soaked in my culture and did a complete 180. The friends from high school who peaked in high school after graduation saw me thriving and doing well and looking good at my university and really wanted to hang out with me. I was really popping my shit at school and doing something amazing. I go to a hard school to get into as well, and it's a big party and D1 school. I decided to give them a chance against my better judgment, and basically a couple years later they're all talking shit about me to all the other people who peaked in high school and saying I think I'm better than everybody, etc. They've gone as far as to go after one of my exes and tell people in my hometown not to like me for whatever reason. My ex-best friend is a part of this and started all of this BS, completely betraying me and spilling all my secrets. I'm a very private person and I only trusted her, so she knew that and told all the other people from high school in that group my personal life. She's the one who gave them my ex's Instagram because she was the only one who knew about my love life at all. I never did anything to her. I started to feel like I was outgrowing her because I realized we are very different people, but I planned to amicably part ways or minimize my time with her because I didn't feel the need to start drama when the issue with her is that we are totally different people. She's a young Latina mother, we are 22, with a 4-year-old, extremely deep insecurities, self-hate, she's a custodian, and has a woe is me mentality and victim complex. She's always sad and complaining and never does anything to fix her life but hates her life as it is. I'm the opposite. I'm a very positive person. I always work to reframe my thinking and mindset positively. I just graduated from my university on a pre-nursing track and I love to go out and have fun. I'm sweet, but I'm spicy. Like, I do not let people walk all over me and I don't let people get reactions out of me or hurt my feelings. I'm very strong-minded. I'm a leader and I always do my own thing, and I'm extremely confident and obsessed with myself. I'm nice, but I have boundaries and I have no problem telling people about them or enforcing them. It took me a long time to get there, so I really love and appreciate the woman I am. The other people in the group I do not know that well, but the one that I was cool with was a very mean person in high school. She used to get into drama all the time pertaining to her cheating boyfriend, egg people's houses, put rotting meat in people's mailboxes who she didn't like, and just spread rumors and talk a lot of shit. She claims she's changed now, but her treatment of me now shows that she's still an insecure, bitchy girl. She's very insecure and always talks about her eating disorders and problems with her cheating boyfriends, her trauma, etc. So her and my ex-best friend got along well, even though they had beef in the past in high school. The shift started after I invited them down to my campus for a famous party weekend and let them stay with me, bought them food, introduced them to my friends, etc. They were upset with me because I wasn't giving them my undivided attention, or I wouldn't want to join in on self-depreciating jokes, conversations, or trauma bonding with them. I wouldn't ever participate because I wanted to have a good time, and I'm also a happy person. They didn't want to go out one time because they said they were tired, but I know it's because they were mad I was getting a lot of attention. Anyway, my ex-best friend said I had made her cry during the weekend because I didn't hear her calling me for help to fix her clothes in a bar bathroom, because a group of girls were talking to me and complimenting me. Every time I go somewhere, everyone hits on me and all the girls compliment me and everything. I just get a lot of attention all the time. Like, my ex best friend used to always say that she's so jealous of my looks and she hates standing next to me or taking pics with me because she feels like she looks like a worm. I have the IG BBL model aesthetic look, so she always used to say she would pay to look like me, and she wishes she had my looks, and would copy my style a lot and said she would only buy clothes if she could see me wearing them. But she has a different figure than me. Inverted triangle. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm going to hell for laughing at that. But she has a different figure than me, inverted triangle, so kind of like the cone shape. I feel like actually, if you have the cone shape, as long as you're in shape, you can work with it. But yes, I know of those people where they have the inverted triangle shape and then like they don't take care of their body and then they get jealous. Okay, let me continue. She says she has a different figure than me, inverted triangle, and would get sad when they wouldn't look the same on us and hated how she looked in general, face plus body. She also became a mom at 18, so she used to encourage me to do nothing else but have a child. Have you ever been around people that just want to give you bad advice or they want you to do the same thing that they did so that they don't feel alone? So it's like if they have a child young and you're in college, then they want you to have a child. Okay, let's continue. She says she felt like her life has been stagnant since 2020 when we were in high school and she had her kid. Like she always only talks about stories from 2018 when she felt like her life was most fun because she peaked in high school. I feel like this phenomenon is so weird. Like, why do the pretty girls get targeted once they elevate socioeconomic status, education, and looks? I feel like hometown haters are so different because they feel entitled to your success. Talking about my life and experiences felt like bragging to them, but that's really just my life. I attract/date a lot of professional athletes, rappers, college athletes, hot guys, etc. I always get things for free, and I'm one of the girls who really uses her pretty privilege to get what they want out of life. So I'm in different circles than them, but I feel like they get upset about that and think I'm snobby, which I don't think is fair because I've tried to elevate them and bring them with me, but they always refuse and would rather only hang out with people from high school and talk shit about people from high school and hang out at small local bars that parents from high school frequent and would get mad when I didn't want to do that. Like, wouldn't you rather be in a poppin' club with public figures, getting lit for free, meeting all these new people, or going to private dinners and trying the best food? I really love luxury, so I felt like our definitions of fun were different. Oh, that would be a good video actually. Having a different definition of fun than other people, because I definitely do agree that there are different levels of fun. She said, I could go out to a nice restaurant, eat good food, get a pretty cocktail, take pictures for Instagram, and then go out for hookah after and be happy. But they just wanted to go out to dirty local bars and tried to shame me for liking better. I'm into modeling and traveling, so that's what my main focus is on right now until I go back to get my master's degree. One of them even tried to discourage me from moving to Miami when I mentioned that's where I plan to move after school. For context, I want to be a nurse injector and do all types of cosmetic procedures and injections, so Miami is the perfect place. Plus, Miami is the perfect place for exoticals and if you want to live lavishly. Ooh. If you live in Miami or once you move to Miami, I would love to hear your story time again to this person who's writing this, if you're watching this, because I'm probably going to do a series talking about different exotical experiences in their cities. Actually, if you are an exotical and you have any experiences in your city or state, you don't have to name the city, but you can just name the state or the region of the US that you live in. That would be cool too. Please email me and tell me your story time. But she says, I feel like the video would be interesting if you made one pertaining to this. Sorry this message was long, babe. I just felt like the community would be the only one to understand. Also, do you have any advice for dealing with all the hate? Signed, one of the girlies in the Pretty Girl/Exotical Club. Yes, so this is a very common phenomenon. Have you ever like leveled up your life? Maybe you've moved out of your hometown and then the people who maybe they couldn't afford to do the same thing, they start to kind of get jealous. I know that happened to me too. Like, I'm not rich or anything, but I was one of the only people from my home church that I grew up in. I was one of the only people to actually like move out of the state. And I really do feel like once you graduate high school, that is where the privilege gap really begins. That's where you can really begin to see who is going to be set up for success in life. I know that like people defy stereotypes all the time, but unfortunately, if a person has an inferiority complex and they see that you're like really pretty, you're in shape, you have like this IG baddie aesthetic, you know, you're going to this beautiful D1 school or you got into your dream college, that definitely can cause people to have their inferiority complexes triggered because not everyone's inferiority complex is about looks. I have met plenty of people who had an inferiority complex about their education. I know that I actually used to have an inferiority complex about my education. Well, I knew that I would have an inferiority complex if I did not go to college. That's why, for me personally, going to college was not optional because I already knew if I don't have some sort of education, I already know I'm going to be insecure. And so I've noticed that some women, they're too scared to admit what they would be insecure about. And so they don't want to go and achieve their goals because they feel like, oh, fuck it, like I'll just deal with it. And so some people, they don't know their insecurity triggers, they don't know their depression triggers. So it sounds like your friend, the Latina girl, she didn't know that her future would be a trigger for her inferiority complex. This is why I feel like every pretty girl should know what her insecurity triggers are and what her depression triggers are. Because I know, like, for me, being overweight and being fat, that would be an insecurity trigger. So I know to always stay in shape. You know, I don't ever want my stomach to be hanging over my jeans and stuff because that would make me feel insecure. And so I do stuff to prevent the insecurity from starting in the first place. But for some women, they're not smart, they're not socially strategic. And so that's what causes them to be jealous. But this is probably one of my favorite story times. I love when you guys write in these super long, like 1,000 word story times. But for all of the pretty girls watching, have you ever had this happen? Have any of your friends from your hometown become jealous of you or friends from your past and like maybe you leveled up and then they could no longer relate to you, so then they got pissed off? Maybe you lost weight or you got an education, you got a promotion at work, you went to your dream college. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.